All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Amadai TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye. I'm your host, Queen Shakur. Okay, so let's get into it. G from the land, Nessie X, Emperor Rex, That Crazy Beach Aries, Jonah, Laverne. All right, all hell not in the house. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hey, Brand Slayer TV. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Everyone tuned into the Queen. So let's get into it, Stardusters. All right, Hundia is in here. Silent D. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. Okay, so let's get into it, beloveds. Let's get into it. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to be talking about, or shall I say, I'm going to be talking about 10 simple spiritual activities for self-care, and you can start them today. All right, and we're also going to be talking about some plants that are high vibrational. And one of these plants that is very good at helping you sleep. So we're going to get into all of that. So let's get started. Let's get started, beloveds. Okay, so listen up. Now, many people associate performing spiritual activities with religion. However, this is not always the case. And I told you this numerous of times. Sometimes performing spiritual activities is considered a self-care practice just to help a person improve their mental and emotional health. And for those of you who missed yesterday's broadcast, I talked about our mental health. Okay, our mental health being just as important as our physical. Now, according to the University of Minnesota Center for Spirituality and Healing, religion and spirituality are not the same things. While spirituality may incorporate elements of religion, it is generally a broader concept. Now, as I told you on yesterday, religion is a group of, rules and principles, traditions and practices and rituals that people adhere to. And this is like done in a group setting. Okay, there's many people involved in religions, but spirituality is something that we have to do on our own. You have to go on your spiritual journey by yourself. Of course, there may be other people who guide you along the way, people that you share information with and they share information with you. But overall, you have to take the journey by yourself because it comes from within. It's about coming to one with your inner self. Realizing who and what you are and what your divine purpose is. And that's something that only you can find. Now, with that all being said, in a non-religious concept, spirituality is putting emphasis on the well-being of the mind, body, and spirit. This usually includes holistic activities such as yoga or meditation. Spirituality, according to UMCSH, is about seeking a meaningful connection with something bigger than yourself. Now, which can result in positive emotions such as peace, awe, contentment, gratitude, and acceptance. Remember how I taught you to have an attitude of gratitude. And so if you're looking forward to getting more in touch with your own soul, performing spiritual activities for self-care can be very helpful. Now, so let's talk about a list of things you can do. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. The first thing we're going to talk about is contemplation. When you sit alone and you think to yourself about different things that you want out of life, things that you want to achieve, things that you want to change about yourself, a relationship, just a myriad of things. Contemplation involves thinking continuously about something, studying and musing over it, usually something worthwhile and important that's pertaining to life and has meaning. What this kind of reflective activity goes very deep sometimes. It goes deep when a person becomes still and highly focused as they ponder. The ego dissolves temporarily and contemplation becomes increasingly like meditation. Solutions to life's problems sometimes appear spontaneously at such times. And this is likely because you're advancing on your spiritual path. Now, as Sam Vita says, a man who realizes the potential of his mind by means of introspection and contemplation does not lack self-confidence. He has control over his mind and he is able to realize his full potential. Another thing is spending time in nature. Now, I talk about this a lot because that's something that we definitely need to do. Be out there smelling the flowers, listening to the birds sing, walking barefoot in the grass. You hear people nowadays when someone argues with them or says something nasty to them, they'll say, "Oh, you need to go touch the grass." Have you all been hearing people say that? As if touching the grass is going to change their whole nasty attitude. It's not, but some people think so. Now, spending time with nature is one of the best spiritual activities for self care that we can do. Okay, and this is to help us achieve optimal well being. A study shows that spending time in nature dramatically reduces stress and is also anti inflammatory. Now, for many people, once they awaken or have any kind of significant spiritual shift, there is often a drive towards being in nature even more so. Now, as part of us yearns for a connection that is free of ego and other karmic junk while we open and clear out our issues. Some people are talking about wanting a garden. This is what some people think about. As you can see, I have these lovely flowers behind me. Please pay attention. Roses, because I want a rose garden. But anyway, okay, moving to a cottage in a forest or something like that, during some initial phases of their spiritual awakening. While some may indulge, do things out of impulse, like go for hikes, spend time on the beach by the ocean, or visit a lake. It can be a wonderful way to rejuvenate yourself. And let's not forget about sun gazing. How important it is to bask in the sun. It helps your body to produce vitamin D, and also it's good for your melanin. Well, for some people's melanin. For the people with you melanin. Now, with that all being said, if you have ever been in constant judgment, you should agree that judgment can be a toxic way to live and would not help us achieve emotional and mental health. Judgment robs us of the ability to hear our inner guide. It is a way of conforming to what is commonly accepted, making it more likely that we ourselves will fit in and be accepted, or in essence, loved. How some people always worry so much about what other people think, and they really just feel so desperately. They have this need, this yearning to fit in with everybody else. You see, sometimes you're not meant to fit in, okay? Sometimes you're meant to stand alone. You're meant to be unique and different. I never wanted to fit in. I always like to do my own thing and have everyone else follow what I'm doing. Now, with that all being said, the fear of not being loved and accepted can lead us to shun and reject others in an attempt to ensure that we are not shunned or rejected. By living life in this way, we are submitting to the ebb and flow of the consensus rather than living with a conscious intention for what we want our lives to be. You see, some people do what's expected of them, not what they expect of themselves, but what other people expect of them, what other people encourage them or tell them to do. They try to please others, people pleasers. And the sad thing about people pleasers is they usually end up pleasing everybody except themselves. Now, when you free yourself from judging, you create a spirituality that is freeing. It's open to give and receive love on so many different levels. You feel calm and peace because you're not assigning labels or creating positives and negatives. Everything is seen for its own inherent beauty. Now, there are some benefits to being non-judgmental, specifically about yourself. We often judge ourselves, and like I told you, sometimes we're our own harshest critics, and we say negative things and pessimistic things about ourselves, and that only stunts our growth. That only prohibits us from evolving into our higher selves. Now, in some cases, we do absolutely have to judge people because we have to judge people by certain things so that we don't get caught up in other people's BS. But what I'm saying is, let's not just be so judgmental because someone smoked a cigarette and you want to just turn your nose up at them because you just think it's nasty and the smoke stinks, which it absolutely does, by the way. But I'm just saying little minuscule things. Now, if you see somebody out here robbing and stealing, yeah, you should be judging them. So you know to stay away from them. All right? But whatever you do, you need to do it with discernment. Because the Bible does say, judge righteously. I know people love to quote the scripture that says, judge lest ye not be judged. Well, that's usually what people say to you when you're judging them on something nefarious that they've clearly done. and they don't want to take accountability. But the Bible also says, okay, judge righteously. Now let me continue. Have you ever experienced random acts of kindness given by a stranger? Do you remember how good it felt? They say that kindness or compassion has a ripple effect, and that's absolutely true. When we're kind, no matter how small our act of kindnesses are, we experience kindness coming back to us from the whole existence. When we are kind, we feel our soul opening up, expanding and embracing the world. In this state of being, we feel transformed, as well as that we can help transform the world. By performing acts of kindness, we influence others to be kind as well. And this produces an endless chain of effects, a circle of kindness, the healing power of kindness. This is a book that I read. It was The Healing Power of Kindness, How Small Acts of Kindness Can Make a Big Difference. I believe that was the name of it. Now, another thing you can do, and speaking of that book, reading an uplifting book or reading the scripture. This can help you. Reading an inspirational book is one spiritual activity that will help us get more connected with our own souls. Karen Swallow Prior has said, what good literature can do and does do far greater than any important or importation of morality is touch the human soul. Now, deep reading is a distinctive cognitive activity that contributes to our ability to empathize with others. It therefore can, in fact, make us smarter and nicer, among other things. And sometimes you can just be silent, okay? Like when you meditate, you're in complete silence, or you should be. Silence. It's easy to fill our minds in days from when we wake up until we go to bed. Usually, most of our doings are pre-planned. The problem with this is that we need space and silence to create an opening for inspiration, for guidance, and for something new to occur. The silence gives space for the universe to provide in extraordinary ways that we could not have even imagined. Practicing silence doesn't mean keeping your mouth shut and just being quiet. It's a state of mind where we can listen and appreciate the sounds of silence, seek the solace that silence streams, and rejoice with silence. And like I told you, when you're silent, that's when you can listen to God. Remember, praying is talking to God, meditation is listening. Silence allows us to see our strengths and weaknesses, thus allowing us to connect with our inner selves. And the seventh thing you can do is let go. Most people find it hard to let go, especially if they have become too attached to someone or something. Now, whether it's a relationship, material things, or probably a goal or ambition, however, we should realize that everything in this world keeps on changing. And it's very important to let go if we think that something is not working anymore. The call to let go lies at the core of humanity's many spiritual traditions. Non-attachment to outcomes, surrendering desires, accepting the present, opening to the guidance of a higher power, relinquishing the ego, forgiveness, they all entail letting go. Yesterday, I talked about forgiveness and how you carry a grudge, and the longer you carry it, the heavier it gets. It starts to weigh you down, having you in a low vibrational state of mind. Now, why is letting go so important? Well, I'm glad you asked. Holding on limits perception, you see. When you hold on to things, that limits your perception. For example, if you bring baggage from an old relationship into a new one, then you're already starting off on the wrong foot, because you're going to be sitting there expecting this person to mess up or do the same negative things that the person before them did. And this is a whole different person. Everyone's not the same. Everyone is different. And so when you do stuff like that, you just set yourself up for failure, and in fact can absolutely sabotage something that could have been a fruitful relationship. Now, holding on limits perception, makes us tense and obscures our true nature. Moreover, it lies at the root of most of our suffering. Letting go, on the other hand, brings relief, ease, joy, and love. So just let go. If something doesn't serve you, please let it go. Prayer is something that you can do, a very good and productive spiritual activity. Prayer is one of the main ways we practice our spirituality. Okay, it is an effort to communicate with the Creator, a higher power, the Most High, God, whatever you choose to call the divine entity that gives us all life. Okay, or to an object of worship. Now, prayers are very powerful. Our prayers are one of our natural healing resources, each of us today that we have. And we can do this at any time of the day. The medicine of prayer is a good way to maintain good health. Prayers usually offer praise, thanks, makes a request, or simply expresses one's thoughts and emotions to help us in harmony, balance, or help us to be and stay in harmony, balance, and peace. And it can be done in a myriad of ways. It just depends on the person. Prayers can be said out loud, quietly, through song, dance, arts, tears, smudging, for example. You can also pray in any position, whether you're lying down, sitting, kneeling, hands folded, raised, open, and so on. When a person is truly in their spiritual self, prayer, or when they're in prayer, they do not focus on their body, their mind, and their emotions. In a total spiritual state, people do not feel pain, heat, cold, hunger, or thirst. That's when you're in a totally spiritual state. And another thing you can do is yoga. Practicing yoga is really good. It helps you with your breathing exercises. It helps you to, stretch, and it just gets you feeling good. It lifts your vibrations. At least for me, it does. Now, there are 5 types of yoga, each representing a major path of spiritual development. In Western society, hatha yoga, especially physical exercises and postures. Okay, also Tai Chi and martial arts like judo, karate, and taekwondo are increasingly popular as well. Now, these martial skills combine exercise and the sport of combat techniques with a philosophy emphasizing meditation and self-defense. These practices are therefore both disciplined and devotional, and we all could use a little bit more discipline. And then another thing is chanting. Chanting helps quiet the mind. While, you can chant Nomyoho Renge Kyo, the mantras that I've told you. You can chant whatever you feel comfortable doing. The Om chant. Now, while chant may or may not be appreciated by those listening for musical sophistication or high performance quality, countless people are today chanting and listening to chant for its profound effect on our consciousness. The repetitive sounds of chant vibrate in our brain again and again, watching our minds, our inner wavelengths gradually coming into resonance with the tone and feeling of the musical prayer. And speaking of resonance, don't forget that I told you that the spiritually intuned mind vibrates at the same frequency as the Earth's crust. It's called the Schumann resonance. Not only is chanting a form of meditation itself, but chant is also an extremely useful adjunct to other spiritual practices. Because of its powerful ability to calm the mind, chanting can serve as a helpful bridge between our busy lives of work, kids, errands, cell phones, etc., and deeper states of meditation. All right. Now, in closing, you may have all of the things that you need in this world: food, shelter, money, and all of those material things. However, you should not forget that practicing spirituality and performing these spiritual activities for self-care is also essential to your well-being and your mental clarity. This will help you on your journey to nourish your soul and improve your emotional and mental health. Hunya said she could use a whole bag of discipline. Okay, now let's talk about these plants. Hey, Wayne World, let's talk about these plants that raise your vibrations. Lights up, everyone, please. Like and share. High vibrational plants. Let's get into it. I love plants myself. I love flowers, period. Rosemary. Rosemary cleanses the air from toxins and leaves a clear space for your mind to feel refreshed. Basil will refresh your space and attracts positive energy. You know, I burn basil leaves sometimes rather than sage. I switch it out every now and then. Aloe vera is one of the best plants you can have in your home because it's not only highly vibrational, but you can also use it for a number of healing purposes, both on the outside and the inside. It's also good too if you scald yourself. Like I remember when I was in high school, I scalded myself with hot water, and my arm was like so red. And I put aloe vera on it every day, and it went away really quickly, didn't leave a scar. Jasmine has a beautiful aroma, and it is also able to calm your nerves. So if you're someone who has anxiety, you may want to have some jasmine. Lavender is perfectly aromatherapeutic, stress relieving, and soothing. Now, lucky bamboo is considered to be a symbol of success and fortune. So you might consider getting one for your home or office. I have 2 bamboo sticks in my room. It's smart to grow your own sage. Not only will it maintain good vibrations in your home, but you can also burn it whenever you need to clear energy out. Orchids are tender, beautiful, and really maintain happiness and high levels or high energy levels for everyone in the home. I love orchids. English ivy is one of the best air purifiers out there, which will prevent you from states such as a brain fog and anxiety. Lilies promote peace and balance in our living space. Chrysanthemum. Now, this has healing properties and also promotes tranquility. So this is really good for peace and when you're relaxing, and this is good to have around when you're meditating, along with burning your sage. Okay, and here's another tip. Now, when you're outside of the home, you can walk around sunflowers whenever you need to amplify your levels of joy or just raise your vibrations. And let's talk about the snake plant. Now, the snake plant has numerous benefits. Decorated Speech Air says, I keep killing my orchids. That G from the land gets me. G from the land doesn't need to get you any more orchids, okay, until you learn how to take care of them, beloved. Talking about you keep killing your orchids. Do you know how much those things cost? Okay, so now this is about the snake plant. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think the snake plant is very beautiful. I prefer the look of a peace lily. But you know, the snake plant is better for various reasons. You see, the first thing is it produces the most oxygen and purifies the air compared to other plants that you might have in your home. The second thing is most plants produce oxygen during the day, but the snake plant produces oxygen at night. And this is good because it helps you to sleep. Now, during the day, it absorbs the bad air with the components that aren't healthy for humans. Okay? And then at night, it releases the most pure oxygen. So that's really good. Now, it can remove pollutant toxins from the air, and this means that it's good at combating allergies. So if you have allergy problems or know someone that does, it would be good for them to have a snake plant in the room while they rest and sleep at night. Now, it's a very easy plant to take care of. It adapts to different light conditions. I mean, it can be a dimly lit room even. It doesn't need much light. It also doesn't need much water because it's native to South Africa. And so it can withstand hotter climates, and it's durable even without a lot of water. And it also doesn't need direct light to grow. So it can be placed in rooms, like I said, even if the light is dim. Now, it's a beautiful plant and it's nice for decor. I mean, it is a nice looking plant, but like I said, I love the peace lily more so. Now, and here's the thing. The peace lilies, I usually keep those out where everybody's going to see them, but the snake plant, I keep that one in my room. Oh, with that all being said, it helps with sinusitis and other respiratory diseases. And so if you have problems with respiratory, such as bronchitis and things like that, well, you might want to put one in your room. And it also absorbs negative energy that's in your living space. So some people keep them close to the front door, so that whoever comes in, if they have nefarious low vibrational energy, well, it'll just be sucked right on up. Please pay attention. But the thing you have to be careful of is that, due to the presence of chemicals called I think they're called saponins. Due to these things, that they can cause gastrointestinal discomfort, and so, as well as nausea, and vomiting even. So you have to be careful about having them around small children and pets. All right, because you don't want them eating them. Kids put anything in their mouths, and so do pets. All right, because they're not for ingestion. Okay, so the Crazy Beach Air said, facts, queen. Peace lilies have beautiful flowers. Yes, I love them. Snake plants are just green. My G-Ma used to have a ton of them. Yes, and they're very beneficial. I mean, some of them are actually pretty to me. Some of them are beautiful, but I just like the peace lilies better. And the thing I also like about the peace lily is how do you forget to water a peace lily? Because if you don't water it on time, the leaves, will start to droop. They'll start to droop, like letting you know, hey, I'm thirsty. And then as soon as you put some water in them, they just spring right back up. I love them. I absolutely love them. Okay, and so that's all for now, beloveds. I hope you all got something out of this. Terry Hartfield said, need to get me some snake plants. Yes, absolutely. They sell them at Home Depot. They sell them at Home Depot for a reasonable price. Andrea said, I can't grow anything. Everything. You can't grow anything, Andrea? Well, you don't have to. Just go and find some place where you can purchase it, beloved. Hundia said, I thought too much plant in the home bring mosquitoes. Hundia, I've never had that problem. I mean, it could, I guess. I never had that problem. Hundia says, I'm thinking of getting the bamboo plant. I literally have 2 bamboo sticks. Okay, I have a bamboo plant too, though. So anyway, any questions before I roll out of here? Brad Sir TV said, thank you, Queen. Great reminders and info. I need to get me some plants. You're welcome, beloved. Okay, so with that all being said, I'm out like a light. I have one more broadcast to do on the backup channel. I'm going to try to get on there in the next hour, like about between 4:30 and 5. Okay, so with that all been said, everyone please like and share this video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell, click the word all, so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. And also, for those of you who don't have memberships, it would behoove you to get one. Now, you can get memberships for as low as $2.99 and $6.99. You don't have to get the higher memberships, but they're good to have, because no matter what level of membership you have, when I do the members only broadcast, you'll be able to attend. Now, you get perks with each membership, for those of you who don't know. And for those of you who have the self-elevating and the higher frequency memberships, trust me, your ebooks are coming, okay? They'll be here Friday. And also, for those with the higher frequency memberships, we will be having our masterclass. We'll be having our monthly masterclass. Probably, I think I'm going to have it this Sunday. Okay, early this Sunday. So I'll send you guys the links. Now, with that all being said, Brad Slayer TV said, got you, Queen. I'm going to subscribe. I need to cancel some other stuff. All right. Thanks, beloved. Ray Williams said, Queen, you amaze, enlighten me. Thank you so much. You're welcome, beloved. Okay, congratulations, Queen. 1 year strong. Thank you, that Crazy Beach Aries. All right, so anyway, I love you all to life. Everyone enjoy the rest of this day, and I hope to see you in the next chat. Until next time, beloveds, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives.